There was a man who found a cocoon of an emperor moth and brought it home. And he waited for that moth to begin to emerge from the cocoon, and an opening happened one day, and the moth began to start to squeeze its way out and squeeze its way out. And he watched this for several hours as this moth got farther and farther and finally got to a point where he was just stuck, it looked like. And the man watched and decided that he would help it out, and so he went and got some scissors and just put a little small snip there, and out came the moth. And the moth had this big, swollen body with these small, shriveled wings. And he waited for that moth to develop the bigger wings, and it never happened. That moth spent its lifetime dragging itself around with those shriveled wings. You see, the part of the process that he kept from happening was for that moth to begin to push the fluid out of that swollen body into the wings, to strengthen the wings for a lifetime of being able to fly. But he shortcut that process. And so the moth spent its lifetime crawling around and never soaring. When we shortcut what God wants to do in our life, instead of resting by faith under it, we end up crawling around with a sad existence that has nothing to do with God's ultimate purpose for us. God knows what he is doing. And God, by design, wants to make us something beyond our imagination. In Ephesians, it says this, that God chose us in him before the foundation of the world. This is why he chose us, that we would be holy and blameless before him. He predestined us to adoption as sons through Jesus Christ to himself. And this is what he desires for us, that we would know the hope of his calling, the riches of his inheritance, and the surpassing greatness of his power toward us. Are those things that you're learning? Some of those things you can't learn apart from that graduate school of adversity.